What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. The Premier League is back, and so are we. Arsenal go to Stamford Bridge to renew a lovely rivalry that we've had over the years. You see me rocking the 11-12 season, the 5-3 season jersey. I'm sure you remember that game, X. So I'm trying to get those 5-3 vibes going.
You want me to go get my 6-0? You want me to go get
6-0? Hilarious. That's great. That's great, Mr. Hazard cheat. Oh, I mean, no, we won't go there.
Because I have that one.
Oh, I'm sure you do. X, you're the home team. It's at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, sir.
What are you telling me?
Man, I think it's going to be a good game. I think if what we've shown when we've played these big teams or teams that are above us or teams that are better than us or doing better than us, like Liverpool, I would say the Brighton game, we show up for those games. You know, it's not we play up for them. I'm not saying we play everyone down, but it is in our mentality and in our history to play down. That's been Chelsea's crux since the early 2000s is going into Bournemouth, not taking 3 points. That's why we don't win the league. But then we don't drop points at the Bridge, or we win every game or we used to. The Bridge used to be, it still is statistically, but it hasn't in the last 2 seasons, so it's hard to stand by that. But we don't ship goals at the Bridge. We don't lose games at the Bridge. We do have a sense of pride about us there, and I do think we're up for it. I think we're up to test this new system, this new run that we're on, this group of guys that are kind of fallen into the select 11. I think they're ready. I think it's the Brighton game was a big win, and now I think it's time to put it to the litmus test against teams that we have to be competing with. I know the guys are young, but I do think we compete for this game. I don't think it's going to be a runaway either side. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a full 90-minute fun to watch game. I don't think it's because of the matchup. I think it's because of the rivalry. We're at home, and we tend to play up against teams this season.
So you think that that was my next question. So you think that the history of the tie might have something to do with it? Because if you think about it, way back when we were knee high to a grasshopper, Chelsea couldn't touch Arsenal.
Right.
Back in the day, into Roman Abramovich, and kind of roles reversed. We couldn't come to the Bridge and even begin to pray for points. Yep. It really wasn't until the Robin van Persie hat trick and the John Terry slip.
Yep.
That we kind of got one, and we've kind of put a record on it, and it's back in our court. We've won for five seasons running. I think we've won that at Stamford Bridge. So we have a great current record.
We lost kind of everything that you just said it, right? Like you kind of hit on it with the Roman era. We lost our people who could play you guys, and we had players that would literally only show up if we knew they were going to score a goal. It was going to be they scored against Arsenal. Like they showed up for this game.
I think Diego Costa in particular enjoyed playing against Arsenal because he knew he could get under people's skin. He knew he could rattle the Gabriel Paulistas of the world.
There was already a rivalry there, so all he had to do was just feed into it just a little bit and light the flame. Like I miss guys like that in our team. I really do. But
I hated him.
I know.
I still hate him.
He won us a league, and
dirty. He was the kind of guy that when he's the forward, when you're trying to defend him, he's like grabbing hold of your shorts and like pulling your shorts down, and he's like pinching you in the side and stuff.
Just talking.
He's being so annoying. Yeah, and not to mention actually, what he could do as in the game itself instead of just making people mad.
Right. But I do.
I don't have anybody like that anymore.
No, not really. Everybody we have is real kind of stand up. I mean, they don't jaw about it too much.
So I've heard rumor that Reece James, maybe? No? Yes?
I think he's from the rumor mill, I think he's re-injured.
For real? Oh my God! Oh no!
I think he's been extended another 10 days because of That's what I last read, but I don't know. Again, like fact check that. But I think that's what I saw in the Chelsea like rumor mill from.
He heard Martinelli was coming to town. He's like, you know what? Better not.
Better not. That's why I think the lineup stays relatively the same, the exact same as how we came out.
Yeah, I think that as far as from an Arsenal
Maybe,
point of view, it's going to depend on how Arteta approaches it,
yeah,
because there is the whole Kai Havertz narrative, and I feel like we do keep saying it week in and week out. Oh, it'd be great if he came out and had a game against City. Oh, it'd be great if he came out and it'd be a cool story if he did this and that, and he hasn't really done that at all, ever. But this is the game where he might have the chip on his shoulder, where he might be out to prove something against his old team. But it all depends on how Arteta views Chelsea. Is he going to give Chelsea the same respect he gave City and Partey, Rice, Odegaard? Or is it going to be Rice in the 6 and Havertz and Odegaard, which is a completely different approach, which means we're going to be coming at it a bit more. Going to be a bit more attacking. But I personally think he'll go defensive. He'll go with Rice and Partey, because y'all created the most big chances, like the most chances. You've missed the most chances as well.
It's just putting them away. Yeah, it's just we lack the
you've created them.
And that's what frustrates me so much, right? Like if we convert even a third more of these, if we had a striker that converted a third more of these, like we'd be sitting really, really high in the table. And my whole point about it is like we don't ship goals, so we have both components. We literally are only lacking the putting it in the net. Like we have the cross in, we have the pass, we have the run in. It's literally just putting it in the back of the net. With our midfield firing the way it is, I don't think you want to do that and play a stagnant midfield. And we know.
Well, who's it going to be?
It'll be
Gallagher,
Enzo.
Yeah.
Probably for the rest of the season. Gallagher has leaps and bounds. Like some Chelsea, like I hate the hate that he gets, but like
so is it Mudryk or Sterling, right? So
that's my question.
So you're thinking Palmer's a shoe in.
Palmer's a shoe in. It'll be
Jackson.
And I want to say Mudryk because he had a better break.
He had a better break with a one. He's got a banger versus Malta.
But
you could score that goal against Malta.
But it's not going to be Mudryk. It's going to be Sterling because of his league form.
I mean, on the left though,
in the last 3 games, he'll play. Sterling starts this game. He's not sitting Sterling if Sterling keeps playing this well, which I don't think Sterling's playing well. I think Sterling's playing well to the standards that Chelsea is used to having Sterling play. In no way, shape, or form, I think, is Sterling playing what we can see out of Raheem Sterling, which is the frustrating part. Well, we have 4 good games out of him. We're very happy for that because we need it out of him. He's the second highest paid player on our whole roster. So, yeah.
I think that if we play for the very first time this season, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, it's done. It's dusted. It's a done deal. And y'all aren't gonna sniff the ball. You're not gonna even at home. I think that the days where Arsenal are gonna come blam people are just gonna come 3-4, 5-0. Those are gone. I do think that we'll dominate the game, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna be a goal fest. I think we're gonna nullify you completely, like we did City, if he plays that way. It'll be way more open if Havertz is in the 8. And I think that Enzo could probably do a job on Havertz. No problem. But if it's the front 6 I just mentioned, I think we walk. What you saying, Lewis?
I'm looking at the injury stuff, right? Because I wanted to see, because I didn't see any new news on Reece James. They have him doubtful, which I mean, he's not going to play anyway.
He's not going to. I would not start him in this game.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's on the bench, but I think that's just for spirit, not like reality.
Right.
And then it looks like the rest of the guys are out for like longer periods. So that's the only real change that they have. I think Chelsea's form is decent. I think because they're at home, maybe Pochettino sees this as an opportunity to kind of go for it. Um, I'm struggling to see Chelsea beating Arsenal. I'm just looking at form, right? I mean, I think the best result Chelsea can get, I mean, obviously is a win, but in my opinion, the best result they'll get is a draw. I don't think they'll get a draw though. I think Arsenal will beat them probably like 2-1. But I think it'll be a good game, and I think it'll be something that builds momentum for Chelsea going forward. Because the thing about it is you look at it and you say, well, have they made progress? And I think as long as they play up and they're in it for the most part, I think that's I know moral victories don't count on the score sheet, but
Right.
Chelsea needs those. Like, you need to have that spirit, because they haven't had the spirit. So in this case, I think a moral victory could matter. So if they can get a draw, obviously they'd want to win, but I think a draw will be a solid result, even though I think it's still 2-1 Arsenal.
I agree. I think that a draw for Chelsea would be a fantastic result, to be honest with you. I don't see you scoring a goal. I don't think Chelsea will score.
I think it'll be a counter though.
No.
I think they have speed. They're fast. I think
Rice and Partey, come on. Rice and Partey locking stuff down.
You can believe it. I think they have enough speed on the wings to move very
I
well.
think I'm very confident. We have a great record in recent times at the Bridge. I remember last season's 1-0 was a fantastic performance, complete dominance. Y'all weren't in it at all. And I worry about, okay, Gusto's probably coming back in, you think?
Yes.
Saka's been resting for 3 weeks.
Is he healthy?
Yeah, he's healthy.
Yeah.
He'll play. Martinelli, man, yeah. The
he's
first time this season we're going to see Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka. Yeah, they're going to be cooking. I've got 2-0 dominance. Total dominance, 2-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 to Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't wait for the hard pick.
The hard pick.
I'm telling you, we're going to score early. We're going to score early.
Hey, Jake, what did Patrick pick? I'm curious about
Patrick said 2-2. Patrick, I knew X would pick a win and Patrick would go with a draw.
No. We gotta back the boy. This is
a bit more humble.
It's a London. I'm picking
it's the Cup Chasers Derby, baby.
What are you talking about? I'm picking the boys.
Yeah, man, you're picking the losing side.
God.
You're not gonna create 5, 6, 7 chances against us. You might get 3.
That's what I'm saying. If we have to finish, and I know we're gonna get one early. I know we are. I know we're gonna come out hot. I know those boys are gonna come out gunning for one. If we put it away, it'll change this. If we don't put that away, because like you said, we're only getting 3. We're only getting 3 or 4. And I'm telling you, we have to put that first one away and get the Bridge on our side and believing that this is possible. It'll change the trajectory of this.
I would be remiss to not offer the other side, because X picked a 1-0. If that were to happen, and I really don't see it happening, but I live in the world that you might as well say something about it. X, what do you think it does for Chelsea, and how does it maybe affect Arsenal?
I
1-0.
I don't think it knocks Arsenal off any. I think they take it on the chin. They move on. I think it helps us because of this next run we have coming, and it starts right here at home. Like, this is where we drop the ball so many times early in Graham Potter's managerial. Like, this is one of those moments for Pochettino, right? This is one of those moments that Graham Potter missed time and time and time again when he came in. He came up to these big moments. Hey, we win this game, we're still in top 4 contention. Hey, we win this game, we're still playing Europe. We need to win this game because we need the momentum moving forward in the Champions League. Like, we came across these moments, and every time he just could not rise to the occasion, and it made the fan base hate him because we needed those moments. The whole season hinges on those certain games, and that's what it takes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. This game for us means that we could be they're
7th.
quicker. We could be there quicker than what everyone's telling us we can be. We want to be back in Europe. That puts us in 7th. We want top 4, but that's what we want. Like, that's Chelsea's standard. That's what their standard has been. That's what Boyley's standard should be as he bought the club, because Roman, that was one thing. We are a European club. Without that, Chelsea's identity would die if we become a league club again. We do not focus on the league. We're supposed to be this dominant club, this contention club, and this would put us back into that standing. I think the mindset needs to be that we need to compete with Arsenal. We need to compete with Brighton. We should be competing with Liverpool. And I think it's just one of those moments in the season where we can say, hey, we can do it. We're not that far off. We can grind these points back and finish and salvage this project. Or, the fans. I don't want to see Pochettino I don't want to see that. I like him as a coach. I don't want to see him lose the fans this early, because I don't think we're stuck with him. I think that's an easy 60, 70 mil again. If Boyley has to fork it out, he will.
No, you should though. You should stick with him though.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the guy. He's the guy that will develop. And y'all have gone with the youth play. You've gone for let's develop it and let's win the title 4 years from now. That's kind of what it looks like, right?
It's just,
and Pochettino's the youth guy, so you got to stick. You got to stick with him. You have to.
It's just one of those moments in the season where you can lose. It could cause us to lose hope. And okay, yeah, we're going to finish top 10. Like, if we can't compete, if we get blown out here, it's not going to be pretty coming from the fan base side. So we have to compete. I think it does mean more for us, essentially, is to answer your question, Lewis. It does mean more for us.
Would it be realistic for the fans to feel that way? I feel like that would be.
Are Chelsea fans realistic?
Oh, my bad.
We want top 4.
My bad.
We think with $1 billion spent in a club, and where our ownership was and where we are now, it's not we deserve it. We should be in top 4. The amount of money and the amount of effort that's been put into this squad.
Yo, you should win the league. You spent $1 billion in 1 calendar year. You should be demolishing everyone.
100,000% with you. I agree.
That's a ridiculous sum of money. You should be absolutely wrecking shop.
Yep.
Running roughshod over everyone. But see, the thing is, you spent it in just a hilariously horrifying way. If I would have told you a year ago that you'd spent $1 billion, would you have told me that Nick Jackson was your starting forward?
No, I'd been like, Kylian Mbappe is probably our 9.
You would have said
Jude
Kane.
Bellingham's our 10. Harry Kane, right.
You would have said, oh, we've built a Galacticos with $1 billion.
$1 billion?
Yeah, but see, that's where it's
we'd have Rice, guarantee that we'd have Rice for the 100 mil. Easy
but you know, if Poch gets it right, give him 3 years. Yeah. If you guys have that kind of patience. I heard a thing about how sometimes it's hard to beat teams over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? And so maybe there's a little bit of kind of the swing is on Chelsea's side, kind of the favor, we've beat you so many times, there's no way we're doing it again kind of thing, and my counter to that, my thought was, look at Man City and how many times they beat Arsenal back to back to back to back to back. Look at when Arsenal were just bought the stadium. And our old rivals, Man United, we don't care that you're in the mud. We're going to 8-2 you,
As you should.
Exactly my point. So when Chelsea are in a rebuild and are down in the dumps and in the 11th place and in a rebuild, we should go there and absolutely no mercy 3-4-0 curb stomp is what I want to see. That should be the mentality. It's like we should absolutely run roughshod over this game. No mercy. We don't care that you're down or that you're not at your best or it's not it's one of Chelsea's worst teams or you're rebuilding, whatever you want to say. We should absolutely massacre you guys. Just the way it is, man. And that's why I'm excited. I'm excited about the game. Supremely confident. And I think, I think if we come out like I know we can, it's gonna be a long day for you.